Yes, sir. Welcome back to another Trap Dive Film Session. I'm your Trap Dive Podcast, Mullet Mo, Jamal Forrest. And listen, man, Chig Okonkwo. I know a lot of people are probably over here worried about what's going to happen to Ben Sennett. It's his time to shine. Well, I got news for you. That's Chig's job. Look, man, Chig Okonkwo is a tight end that Washington really needed heading into 2026. I think with the loss of Zach Ertz, while Zach Ertz is a veteran, savvy route runner, knew how to get open, you can count on him from that standpoint of moving the chains, getting some yards, some quick, easy yards, creating separation in the middle of the field. Chig provides a different type of versatility in the passing game that Washington still doesn't have, or that they didn't have prior to Chig. He can get you open on all three levels. I think one of the more important things for Washington moving forward, especially for Jaden Daniels, is how do you create speed and mismatches beyond a Terry McLaurin. So let's go ahead and tap into Chig Okonkwo's. We'll take a look at what he does well, ways in which I think Washington should be looking to use him as a commander. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Drop it down, film session starts right now. Shout out to Dakota, my little one who's right here with me. People ask me if I got a kid, you know, the single ladies out here. I tell them I'm a dog dad. There's two of us that come into this relationship. But let's take a look at Chig Okonkwo. I think one of the main things with Chig that people have to understand is Yak is a big deal for him, but also how Tennessee used him. They knew that they can get quick and easy yards with him. The way that he finishes runs too is also good. That's Nick Bolton that he just ran through. Nick Bolton. They used him a lot on bubble screens, those wrap screens, however you want to define it. And I think those are some quick and easy ways for Tennessee to get Chig involved, but also get at least 5 to 10 based on how they were moving, right? Another way, same thing, you'll see. How's he finishing runs? Like, the elusiveness is there. Like, he has some savvy ability to create that yards after the catch. And you don't really see this type of move that often from tight ends, right? And it's just thinking quick on his feet. That's super important. Here you see the same thing. Now he's in line, right? And this is kind of the one that he really blew up on this season, just finishing runs. That's the competitiveness in him, right? Good contact balance. That's a big deal. So with Washington, you just understand that the element where, you know, Zach Ertz provided you with route running and savviness, right, to create the initial catch and things of that nature, Chig can do more after the catch. Let's go ahead and show a couple more instances. Another bubble, right? Just finishing runs, being strong. It's a big deal. And I think this was like a 3rd and 13, if I'm not mistaken. And he picked up 16. Another one. Now like a pure tight end screen now. Just getting those yards upfield. You see the lateral quickness, his agility is there, right? You'll see instances as a route runner where his full foot speed is on display. Now, I want to keep in mind, too, I don't think I've shown it. Maybe I do have a clip. Keep in mind, he got some random concentration drops. You're going to get that from time to time with players. I don't think it's a problem with Chig, but when you see it enough to, like, notate it, that's also where it's like, just keep in mind that you're going to see you're going to see some instances where it's like, damn, we should have had this. We should have got this first down if Chig caught the ball. But it's not a problem where it's like, get rid of him. I hate him. I don't like him. And here's a good one, 3rd and 14, I believe, or 3rd and 13. And he picks up 14. So again, like, that's the competitiveness sticking out in Chig. Like, it's just a check down, but how do you do enough to get that first down for your team? And I think for Chig and for Washington, like, that's a big deal. Like, you're putting moves on DBs, a bunch of them, just to get that extra yardage and extend the drive. That's a big deal. Let's marry what Chig is doing after the catch with how he's running routes and just a pass catcher, right? For Chig, I think he can play basically every position as the tight end except for like the traditional tight end. Like the Y is not for him. but he can be your H, he can be your F, he can be your U. Like, those are move guys. Those are guys you can line out outside of the tackle. He can play in line, but he's not your one who's as balanced as your Y, who can block and catch the ball, such as like a Travis Kelce or Rob Gronkowski. But here you are, you see him split out wide, and this is a good manipulation of like that cover 6, cover 3. Typically when you see a single high, that's probably cover 3, right? And how they play this. But you see him manipulating the speed of himself, just slow placing it. But once he clears, he starts that burst, but really good tracking from him, right? Getting under the ball, the over shoulder adjustment towards the sideline allows him to really stay upright and not like off balance as he's trying to get under the football, right? He's not lost in space. He's very comfortable tracking that football, and then getting the feet down. Big deal. That's like a 40-yard, 35, 40-yard play for Chig. Let's go ahead and run it from the end zone angle. And you can just see his foot speed as he's tracking it, like he's picking up with the acceleration and things like that. That's a big deal for tight end, but also the versatility that you need from a tight end who's able to stretch the field. All right, so here was one of, I thought, his better reps that he was targeted throughout the entire season. It just shows kind of the level of processing he's able to do from a hip manipulation standpoint, but also coverage processing standpoint, and just finishing the play, right? So you get a cover 2 situation, and you'll see where Chig is able to use his head fake, but also just show his fluidity as a route runner, navigating through traffic, right? Clearing that second level, also thinking about that third level, right? You'll see him bend his head and shift towards the inside, manipulating his safety before breaking outside for the corner route and securing the pass. A low target adjusting to that, right? So you see that head fake, it brings that safety inside. And he's able to widen that space between the safety and the corner and create a window for Cam Ward. That's a really good job from Chig, or a great job from Chig. The amount of space that he created in that zone. Another rep against the Colts. Just general good processing, but tough contested catch for Chig. Turns his head quick, understands that there's going to be some bump in the middle of the field. Another one split wide. Like, we showed the one where I thought was his best rep was in line, right? Like, you just see the versatility for Chig, and ultimately how this is going to open up Commander's offense, right? Good sideline adjust, fall into the ground. There you go. Good ball security on that catch as well. So good, another rep of just physical toughness, but also processing for Chig, right? And what I think is important here that is worth noting, split out wide, but knowing when to get your head turned around, right? Like, his head is, as soon as he bends that corner, like, he creates that window, and you see Cam throwing the ball right now. Like, he knows when he's breaking on that route, when to look back at the quarterback. And I think that's a big deal, because if you look at it too late, if you watch the Titans film, to be clear too, there are examples of receivers running routes past the window in which they should be looking for the football. And that's ultimately how Cam Ward got sacked a couple times, right? Ball is out, he's ready for it. Good completion, good ball security in traffic. It's a really good deal. And that's gonna wrap it up for this film session. What I think Chig is for Washington is somebody who is a 3-level threat, but also like will provide some versatility, because if you don't necessarily have somebody who can win from inline and split out, you're kind of limited in what you can do at the tight end position. But him being able to play in so many different areas of the field allows other tight ends to get on the field, but create these mismatches for Washington from a personnel standpoint. Chig has been able to beat some linebackers. He's been able to beat, most linebackers. He's been able to beat cornerbacks. He has his ways with safeties, right? I think that's all important, because depending on where he lines up, he's gonna be finding different defenders and different type of players that's gonna check him. And depending on the coordinator, or even the ability to get the right personnel on the field defensively, he's going to be the mismatch for Washington. So for Washington and their new coordinator, David Blau, I think this is a move piece that is really going to help open up the offense. And even for Jaden Daniels, if he can stay healthy, right? Like, help Chig unlock that next level of what he can be in the NFL. Does this mean I think he's superstar? No. Does this mean I think he's like a Pro Bowl guy? I don't know. But from an athleticism standpoint and a weapon standpoint, Chig is a guy who was underutilized in Tennessee, even though he flourished to some extent, right? It's what got him a 3-year deal in Washington, playing with a Jaden Daniels, right? I think if he is utilized in a way that allows him to get enough touches per game and threaten the defense from a perimeter standpoint, but also vertically, I think we're looking at a person who can really make an impact in an offense led by David Blau and Jaden Daniels. More importantly, Jaden, because we don't know what David Blau is going to look like yet. But until next time, man, y'all take it easy. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Peace.